Go.
Hello. We're from MC01. We're here to present our work. I'm Adiba,
Azra,
Ainun, and Sharafina. We have decided to choose Maria, written by Cik Husna Azhari, to adapt into a visual novel. A visual novel is an interactive fiction game featuring mostly static graphics where players could decide their own ending for the game. The reason why we choose to adapt into a visual novel is because we want the story to be as interesting for the audience and players alike. With colourful images and beautiful background, usually in the end, there will be music and sound effect to enhance and attract players' emotion. But since we're doing a blueprint, we decided to stop at the stage where the players could play the game but with no music, due to the fact that we do not want our work to be labeled as plagiarism, because we don't have the copyrights for the music used in our visual novel.
Hi, I will present the summary for the short story Maria that we chose. So basically the story is about a woman named Maria who sells nasi belau at a Malay village called Mulu. She has become sort of a sex symbol among the men of the village. So this raises concern with the women folk because her way of presence and the way she dresses does not fit with the conservative culture of a Malay society. Therefore, Cik Guna, a teacher in the village, talks about this issue with Cik Yang, who is the wife of the religious leader, which is called Imam. After a bit of a conflict because Cik Yang did not want to, she was reluctant to raise the issue, Cik Guna snaps and finally said something about Cik Yang's husband, which is Tok Imam, eating at Maria's stall. So basically, Cik Yang feels a bit worried, and then she got a bit upset with Tok Imam, and then Tok Imam goes into a flashback when he met his first love in Thailand. And he compared his first love with Maria, and then couldn't suppress his feelings about her, and up until the point where he finally asked Cik Yang's permission to marry Maria and take her as his second wife. Cik Yang has a bit of a conflict, but after one night, she finally agrees to let Tok Imam take Maria as his second wife because of her love towards Tok Imam. The overall theme of this story is that love will prevail and overcome obstacles, and this is shown through Cik Yang, who has so much love for Tok Imam that she is willing to let him take a second wife. That's it.
Okay, so the reason why we choose Maria as our main story is because we want to show what will happen if the Imam role is switched with a woman. So we want to show the woman's point of view if they ever come to such problems in their daily lives. So it's different for a woman because a woman can possibly declare I want a second husband. Our story is based on the theme love will eventually prevail, where the main character is a married woman named Caitlin Blake, who had never experienced the feeling of truly falling in love with someone, or so she thought at the beginning. She married a man named Truman Blake, though through an arranged marriage, and have a normal married life, not until she met a client at work, Kenneth Gale. This is where the story begins, where Caitlin had to decide whether to stay loyal to her husband or to follow what she thought as love. Our game could be played by all ages, but we are mainly targeting female college students that is about to step into the stage of adulthood. The reason for this age is because female in this stage would mostly feel much more emotionally attached to the story compared to other people. So basically we are dividing our work into four, which is the writing of the story, which conducted by Adik Rahman and Encik Abdul Rahman. Second is the character design, which is made by Sharafuddin, and the coloring part is made by me, Aina Hatimah, and finally the programming part is made by Azura Rahman.
Okay, firstly, I'm in charge of character design. So here are the sketches that I did for the character design. Here are the 3 characters in the story that we did. This is Caitlin Blake, the main character. This is Truman Blake, the husband of the main character. And this is Kenneth Gale, which is the other man in the relationship. So basically, the character design is based on the story that my friends have written. And for Caitlin, well, there's not much description in the story, so me and Aino had to imagine a bit. So we gave her sort of a career woman, a modern day career woman look, and give her a sort of a young hairstyle because she's still at a very young age, before 30 years old. And these 3 are just to portray the emotions so that it's easy to see in the end. For Truman, the descriptions are already in the story, so we didn't have to do much. We just have to visualize how neat that he has to be. And well, since he's working as a lawyer, I guess that he will always be in a business suit constantly. And well, we made him as young as Caitlin, maybe a bit older. Okay, and these 3 other emotions as well. So another one for Kenneth. We had to imagine him to be a bit of contrast compared to Truman. So we made him more of someone who's still a bachelor and still carefree, still loose. So he has more of a very free hairstyle, and his wardrobe is cooler as opposed to Truman, who is
Fernie and clean.
A bit more.
Yeah. So for the name Caitlin Blake, it means beautiful, and Caitlin means beautiful, while Blake is fair complexion. For Truman Blake, Truman means gentleman, and Blake is fair complexion. And for Kenneth Gale, Kenneth means handsome, while Gale is stranger, meaning he is the handsome stranger. Okay, so sequences of the
Here are the storyboards that I did for the scenes that we were going to put in the visual novel. So the first scene here is when Truman hands the divorce letter to Caitlin. Sorry. And the second picture is Caitlin's expression when she got the letter. And the second scene, which is the ending scene, is the scene where Caitlin meets up with Truman at his office. And they reconcile because Caitlin did not sign the divorce papers, and they decided to get back together. And well, it's the ending, so okay. This is here are the drawings for the sequence. This is the drawing for the divorce letter handing over scene. This is Truman handing over the divorce letter. This is Caitlin's expression. Okay, here is the Truman's from the point of view of Caitlin. And this is when they reconcile together. They hug, yeah. And this is the small little dialogue between them when after they hug and say each other. I'm in charge of the coloring part of the scenes. So,
basically, mine doesn't have to do much. Like I just color that. First, I scan all the scans from the characters' designs, the drawings and all that, and then I use Illustrator to
make the line art to be more nice and precise because the scans aren't really nice. And then after that, I use Photoshop to color it and make it more interactive and colorful. Okay, thank you very much.
Now I'd like to explain to you about the visual novel that we created using the RenP software. The first step is, of course, we need to have the RenP software. The one we're using to create our visual novel is the RenP 6.12.0 version. After you already got the software, then you can start doing the programming. For this case, for my group, I'm the one who doing the programming. Since the bulk of our visual novel is dialogue, we've tried to make it as easy to write it as possible, we can. So for our visual novel, I will highlight the two main things that needed the most in creating the visual novel. That is writing the dialogue and adding the image. For writing the dialogue, you need Java to be installed to the program, so we will be able to edit the script in the RenP software. In this case, we're naming in the script. We're gonna type place start. The start label is special as it makes the place a game begins running. The next line is a simple say statement. It consists of a string beginning with a double quote and ending at the next double quote. For example, the script that I type in our visual novel is this. You can see it. If you like, you can run this game yourself by erasing everything in your project script and replace it with the one you create, the new script. Be sure to preserve the spacing before the lines. That's not as indentation, and it's used to help RenP group lines of script into blocks. Okay, that is for the writing the dialogues. Now for the adding image, a visual novel isn't much without image. So let me tell you how I add some image to our visual novel. Before I can show images, first I put the image files into the game directory. The easiest way to open the game directory is to click the game directory button in the RenP launcher. Here are some simple image definition. And now the basics are shown. Let's see how the visual novel look like. Here's the script for here's the script for the scene. Okay, and for the extra info about the fonts we're using, fonts sometimes can enhance your visual novel, but if it used with I just do attitude, they can make your visual novel hard to read. With great power comes great responsibility after all, and we want to give you all the power you need in creating the visual novel. In our visual novel, we use Arial font since it's the easiest and simplest font to read. And with that, I've done explaining my part, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you for watching our video presentation. I hope that you were enjoying our presentation, even though it's kind of monotone and boring, but still give us a good review, okay?
Bye. Give us a good review and give you good review back. Bye.